We're also going to be, me and Kyle are going to be releasing a song at some point too, hopefully before then, that all three of us wrote together.
All right, guys, what's going on? Episode 43 of Yellow Colored Glasses. And we're on episode number 43. Yeah, almost to a year. You guys missed my joke on the last one.
So you know what that means, right?
Because I wasn't recording. So I have three awesome people on. I'm going to introduce them really quick after I read a review. And we have a review from Karen W. And she says, from the moment that I walked through the doors of Warren Mounce Agency, I felt a satisfying connection to Janie. Janie's getting shouted out twice.
Yeah, let's go, Janie.
Hell yeah, Janie.
Felt a satisfying connection to Janie. She was so patient with all of my questions and went the extra mile to make sure that I was happy and also that I was being taken the best care of. She is my forever, as well as Warren Mounce Agency. It is truly a relief to have their knowledge, expertise, and to help keep and protect what we have worked so hard for, especially during these crazy times. So, thank you, Karen, for that awesome review. Those help a ton. Those 5-star reviews keep boosting us up. So when people are researching us, all that stuff. So, anyway, to introduce you guys to who we've got on the show today, we've got my little brother, Hunter Thomas Mounce. You guys know him. And he brought a couple buddies with him, Kyle Austin and Nick Deleo. These guys write a ton of songs together. They're all down in Nashville, and they're actually in town for a show tonight at Brick and Mirth. So that's going to be awesome.
Woo! Wow, look at that.
Wow.
We have a sound.
We got a couple things. Yeah,
Let's go. We're going to need that one.
Got that. And then that.
You're going to wear out that D button with Hunter.
Yeah. It's going to be
What was that one?
Yeah.
Anytime there's a joke, yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
Nice.
So anyway, yeah, all these guys are from Nashville. By the time you guys see this, they're going to have played tonight, and you'll see it about 10 days later. But like Hunter said, what'd you say earlier when we weren't recording?
I was just saying, by the time you see this episode, you'll have already had the night of your life seeing us at Brick and Mirth, and you'll go, I'll be damned, I was at that show.
Yeah.
So, what's going on, guys? What we got going on? You guys had a show last night. How'd that go?
There was alcohol, for sure.
Okay.
And
A little bit.
Not too much.
Yeah.
But just
D-Dubs did it right.
Yeah, in Eudora, Kansas.
Yeah.
D-Dubs, yeah.
Have you guys played there before, or you played there a lot?
I did, yeah. I used to play there all the time before I moved to Nashville. I was a frequent
Yeah, you had a good
frequent delinquent there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
I've actually never even been out this way. I've never been to Kansas, never been to Missouri. I've been past this, like on my way out to like Utah and stuff, but I've never been out in the Midwest really before.
Where are you from?
Cape Cod, Massachusetts, specifically Sandwich, Massachusetts is the name of my hometown.
Huh. Interesting. And how? So yeah, I mean, I wanted to ask you guys. Everybody knows about Hunter's stuff, and we've talked about his journey on here. So what started it all? Being from Massachusetts, what got you going down into Nashville and all that?
Well, kind of a funny turn of events. So in high school, so I grew up playing trumpet, so I had some sort of like a musical background, at least like reading music, which you don't really use in Nashville at all. But learned how to play trumpet and read music early, and then took a bunch of time off. Basically, just did my school sports type of thing, that balance. And then I broke my leg real bad my senior year of high school, and missed my whole basketball year, and basically like missed a lot of my recruiting that I was going to use for college for baseball. I had a couple like D3, like small scholarships, nothing big, but I did want to pursue it. And I ended up kind of like goofing around on my sister's piano, learning how to play that, and
Goofing.
Yeah, dude.
a little wacky.
Yeah, just get a little kooky with it.
Yeah. And just like kind of fell back in love with music, and then went to school after the whole baseball thing was put to rest. And actually, I was telling these guys on the way here the funny story of how I learned how to play guitar. I was a biology major in college, and thinking that I was going to be doing like pre-med or something like that. Okay. Anyway, I took an Adderall, studying for an organic chemistry exam, and literally just like totally focused on the wrong thing. On like an Adderall trip, if you like fixate on the wrong thing, like, you're in trouble. And my roommate had a guitar, and literally just learned how to play guitar like sophomore year of college, basically. Mm-hmm. And then like right after that was like Friday night band, Saturday night band, regulars. Fell in love with it. Started writing songs. The crowd was starting to sing back to me, and then I graduated, and I was like looking at jobs for research or medical sales, and I was like, I got to keep singing, and it was a blast. So moved down to Nashville. It'll be 10 years in September.
Damn.
Which is crazy. they say it's a 10-year town, so about to be famous.
Yeah.
No doubt. Yeah, that's kind of the story, but he actually went to the doctor and he said, "Hey doc, I want to learn how to play guitar." And the doc said, "All right, man, I'm gonna put you on this prescription, Adderall, take once daily, and by the time your prescription's up, you will be playing shows."
Yeah, literally.
So you learned how to play guitar on Adderall, essentially.
Yeah, it was completely on accident, but it became just something that like I fell in love with all my time, and I tend to fixate on things like whether it's like learning how to do this or do that. It's just I liked it, and then you just learn to write songs as you go, but I don't know, everything is kind of just like trial by fire.
Awesome.
Throw it in, see what happens, and go from there. But
That's a good story.
That's kind of the long-winded. That's the short way of saying it.
the long,
That's
short.
that's the long, short, concise way of saying
Yeah.
it.
So,
right,
being
yeah.
from Massachusetts, who's like your sports teams up there that you like? Do you still loyal to all those? Or?
Yeah, Celtics tonight,
Okay.
Sox, Patriots.
Okay. Well, at least you're
Bruins.
consistent
Yeah.
to Boston. All right.
Yeah,
Okay. I don't like any of those teams. But that's okay. It's all good. It's all good.
I see all the
all
Mahomes
really good.
pictures
They're also
out here.
yeah.
But
What about
it's
you,
funny
Kyle?
that it says King next to him too. But anyway, go
Well,
ahead.
I
What were you
mean,
saying?
do we have any argument?
Not right now.
All right.
Not right now.
So yeah, Kyle, tell us about you.
Yeah, I'm from a tiny town in southwestern Kansas, almost Colorado, almost Oklahoma. And there's literally nothing to do out there. So my grandpa, he played music. And when I was 10 years old, my parents got me a guitar, and he wrote songs and performed all the time. He had a band called the Drifters that at one point his drummer quit, and he needed a drummer, so he told my grandma, we have a show Saturday, you're learning the drums. So she learned the drums, and she played and sang back up for them. So they both traveled around, played music, and then whenever I was 10, my parents got me a guitar, and he got me this this real cheap acoustic guitar, and gave me a pillow sack, and then he was like, let's go, we're gonna go play shows. And every Wednesday we'd go play a different nursing home in like southwestern Kansas area. We'd travel, we'd go play like 2 hours, 3 hours for these people in this nursing home, and then afterwards we'd go to a Wendy's and we'd drive home. And every second Sunday of every month we would we'd put on this thing. It's called Kansas Old Time Fiddlers, Pickers, and Singers. It's like this thing where there's like charters, I think, where throughout the areas of Kansas, there's different charters that you like sign up, and there's people that run it and put it on and everything. But anyways, it was open to the community where you could show up, and there was this potluck, and then it would be this big jam session where all these people from Kansas would show up, and we'd just play country music for 3-4 hours. And then, so yeah, he got me into music, and he was a songwriter too, and he taught me how to do all that stuff. We played music pretty much every night out of his piece of land. We pretty much just had family dinner every night, or he'd come to our house and we'd pick guitars every night. And then eventually I went off to college at KU. My brother was also into music, and we started a band out there. And then I went into construction whenever everybody was like deciding what the rest of their lives were going to be. Everybody graduated college and went and did all this stuff. And so I was like, I think, I probably need to get a real job. So I went to construction, and then I had my own company out there in Kansas, and out there in Kansas here. It was literally here. It was right here. I forget where I am sometimes.
Way out, 20 minutes over the border.
Yeah, literally right over there. But then on my way to a job, it was raining, and my trailer hydroplaned on the highway, and it pulled me off the highway, and I wrecked, and I broke my spine in 2 places. And then I couldn't really do construction anymore after that. So I started playing music and figuring out how to produce music, because I was stuck in a bed. I was on bed rest for a long time. And then eventually I was like, I'll start posting some videos, because there's nothing else I can do. So I started posting videos, and people liked it, and started to get back into songwriting. And I eventually performed once at a bar called Sinclair's. These people let me up on their break, and the bar owner was like, hey, if you want to play next week, I'll give you $150. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get paid to do this? Holy cow. I've always done it for free for nursing homes and stuff. So did that, and then everybody told me I needed to check out Nashville, I got an opportunity to go out there and do a writer's round. Somebody invited me, and I went out there, and luckily I made friends in Nashville before I moved, and Mikey Angert.
That's who you met when you first got here, just like at a bar randomly.
Well, no, I met him on Instagram. I followed all these people that use the hashtag Nashville, and I followed them, and I would always interact on their stuff, and I'd talk to him, and he started a Twitch channel, and I had Twitch, and I was like, hey man, if you need any help, you need anybody to talk to, like about setting stuff up or figuring stuff out, I was like, I got a Twitch channel. And he was like, oh yeah, cool, I see you play video games, let's play video games sometime. So we played video games, we played Call of Duty. And then I flew out, and I met up with him, and he showed me around. He was like, dude, just move, just do it, move.
That's hilarious. So that was your foothold into like a social circle in Nashville. Mm-hmm. I didn't know any of that.
Yeah.
Call of Duty.
Yeah, right. It was Instagram and Call of Duty.
That's hilarious.
Hey, Duty called, and you answered.
Yeah, so nice.
There we go.
Yeah,
I'm not supposed to touch that.
Yeah, we're abusing the buttons.
No, you guys are good. You're good. How did you end up meeting up with these guys?
I'll try to keep it kind of short. So, a couple years ago, I was at Lake of the Ozarks for Brett Siebenek's bachelor party, and
name dropping, by the way.
There was one night at the very end of the trip where the Airbnb was still booked, but for some reason everybody went home. And this house we were staying in was a mansion waterfront at Lake of the Ozarks, and I had nothing going on, so I was like, dude, I'm staying this last night. Like,
I want to party.
Yeah, right.
So me and Dallas Kelly stayed there in this huge mansion, just us two. And anyway, he's like, dude, let's go up to Captain Ron's. So we walk up the highway to Captain Ron's.
Is that how he talks?
Well, he's hammered.
Kinda. So kind of was a good impression of Dallas.
We walk up to Captain Ron's up the highway. Didn't have any high visibility vest to put on, which would have been nice. But anyway, we go to Captain Ron's, and we go to Captain Ron's, and I had just done a shirt swap with somebody. I was wearing a shirt that said something like...
You were wearing a Trump shirt, weren't you?
I was wearing a Trump shirt, and this lady was like threatening to beat me up, and her husband came over there and was like, yeah, and I'll jump in on it too.
Yeah, he was getting attacked by some people.
Yeah. And I didn't do anything. So finally, I see this guy with a Busch Light shirt on, and I was like, dude, I love your shirt. He goes, dude, I love your shirt. I said, hell, let's switch. So in the middle of the bar, we took our shirts off, we switched. So now I was wearing a Busch Light shirt, and Kyle comes up to me and he goes, dude, that's a sick shirt. And I go, dude, thanks. I can't trade you because I just got this off of the market.
Well, I just watched the whole thing, and I was like, dude, I mean, smart choice, because you were literally getting attacked by these people, but also Busch Light shirt. Like, congratulations.
What happened to the guy that took your shirt?
So then all the aggression started going toward him because he was now wearing the Trump shirt, and I gained a new best bud.
Yeah.
So I made some business decisions there, but
was he playing at the bar then?
No, he was just sitting.
Well, I did. I opened up for the band that was playing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I opened up for the band that was playing at the time, and then that's when I was like sitting there watching, is because I knew the band and
Hudson Drive.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so I just talked to him randomly. Didn't even know he did music, and I found out after talking to him, and I got his Spotify. I got his album on Spotify. I was like, dude, I'm going to listen to this on the way back to Nashville tomorrow.
I'm going to pop it in my headphones while I'm walking back down the road to the house.
Yeah.
And then he's like, all right, well, I'll listen to your album tomorrow on the way back to where we're going. So
we did. Yeah, we both did.
Yeah. And, of course, I listened to his album, freaking loved it, shot him a message. And then, anyway, a year or two later, I see he's moving to Nashville, and I know how it is when you're first moving to town. And I was like, dude, let's hang out. Like, I'll introduce you to everybody I know. And that's literally all. That's how that went.
Wow.
And then him, Nick Deleo here, we played on a co-ed basketball team together that our friend Carly Teft put together.
Oh, that is how is how we met.
And
we won also.
Him and I were the 3-point shooters on the team.
Was Carly the coach? How'd she put this together?
She organized it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She just recruited some guys to play on a team that she managed.
That was when we were on the team with like Matt Stell and I can't remember who
He can hoop, can he?
Yeah,
he's pretty good.
He played at Drury, I think. But anyway, yeah, that is an actual name drop. That's bad. But anyway, Anyway, that's how I met Nick, and she said, hey, you guys really need to write together sometime because you have very similar styles, and then we started writing together, and we wrote great songs like the first 5 or 6 times in a row, and then we just became really good friends after that, and now we're all helping each other out.
You introduced us.
Actually, no, I remember exactly what it was. He was playing the listening room.
Yes.
And he were like, hey, I have a buddy playing the listening room. Let's go check him out. And I was like, cool. And then I remember you texted him, and this is so Nick. It's funny because this is so Nick. But you texted him, you're like, hey, I got this buddy from Kansas that just moved here. We're going to come check you out the listening room. Nick was like, hey, man, you want me to bring you up so you can kind of show him you're something here in Nashville? You're like, no, it's not like that. Like, but Nick was like, dude, yeah, you want to show him up? You want to get up here? I'll bring you up on stage. But yeah, we watched you play at the listening room, and then I met you there.
Yeah, dope.
Yeah.
No, we write great. The three of us vibe good. We road trip really good. That's like super, super important.
Yeah.
Like, because you can have people that you vibe with and good, but if you can't go on like long road trips, I was saying this just a minute ago. It's like it's brutal.
It's miserable, probably.
Traveling with people that suck to travel with or like not courteous or whatever. Oh, it's the worst.
Yeah.
But we've been. Yeah, it's a good working relationship.
Yeah, like for example, I'll give you an example of that. You know, it's his vehicle we took today, and he has one rule in his car is that whenever you burp, when you burp, you gotta
blow it out.
you gotta roll the window down and purge that way, and so
It's not a lot to ask. It's just a little thing. I don't feel like smelling what's in your stomach.
It makes sense, yeah. Like you don't. He was right. Nobody wants to be breathing in 3 dudes'
methane
innards. Like
Yeah.
you don't be sitting there doing that. So
yeah, so yeah, we're just all courteous to each other and really bust each other. Whatever.
Chops.
Chops.
Where are we going here? All right. Anyway,
but yeah, man,
that's an awesome story.
Yeah,
Like,
freaking love hanging out with these guys,
Yeah.
and I can't wait for everybody in Pleasant Hill to hear them tonight.
yeah,
I'm blown away.
I'm excited. I'm also excited too because tonight is kind of unlike any show you've really done before.
Yeah,
That at least I've been a part of, as far as what the setting is going to be like. You know, normally your shows back here are at a bar.
Yep.
It's just different. Like, this is going to be an intimate setting that people are there to, everybody's going to be talking and stuff still, but like, I don't know. It's just going to be a different vibe. So I'm really excited to see what it looks like.
it's at an event space.
Yeah.
It's a ticketed event.
Yeah,
Everybody had to buy tickets to get in. So I feel like,
Man, it's 100 people.
yeah,
That's a great way to do it. Even if you're throwing a show somewhere, even if the ticket is like $2,
I know.
something like ridiculous, it just creates intention for why you're going to where you're going,
Right,
And
yeah.
and be like, I need to. These guys are.
no, I'm agreeing with you 100%.
it's laughing at you. It's like that's
Yeah, it gives you a reason why you're going so that you can actually listen to what the heck's going on.
Right,
versus
yeah.
just
As opposed to just stumbling through like a set of swinging doors and be like, I'm in this bar now. What
Yeah.
are they doing? They're singing. Hell yeah. You know?
Yeah, agree.
100%.
Well, I think the cool thing. So on the podcast, like, we obviously interview a lot of business owners. We talk about entrepreneurship and people taking the leap of faith to start their own business and getting out of the 9-to-5. And life, honestly, is full of decisions and risks and all that stuff. We take the AC is kicked on. And you guys, it's no different. I mean, going to Nashville and pursuing music.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you get down there, it's not a high-paying gig, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, work, commitment, riding the roller coaster, doing all those things. So, obviously I follow everything with my brother, and I see how much he puts into it and is getting better. And then, watching you guys, what you've got going on, that's really, really cool. So what do you guys feel like you would be doing if you weren't doing music? Do you even know?
I'd probably be a firefighter, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good answer. I have no idea. I probably would have, because like construction, it's hard for me to do that regularly, especially like moving materials and stuff like that. But I don't know. I'd probably have to go back to construction. I have to find something, selling or doing something,
Yeah, something until you figure out what you actually like doing.
Yeah.
You can kind of figure out what you like doing a lot easier though than back in the day.
Yeah.
Where it's like you either graduate in college and do the corporate thing, live in the city for a little bit, and then move out to the suburbs. But now you can sit in your computer and like Google like hundreds of jobs with certain things that you like doing.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And there's a million ways to make money. Money is
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. It's not like it's not even. there's a million ways to go get it.
Yeah.
And the reason I asked that question, and it just kind of shows too, like, you guys have all kind of burned the boats. Like, you guys, there is no backup plan. There is no other option. And I think that's what keeps you guys, rolling like you're rolling. The other thing that I equate it to, and this could be completely off. Hunter won't like me saying this, but I remember, 10, 15 years ago, the different kind of waves of artists that were coming through. Like, you had Jason Aldean and Brantley Gilbert, and I don't even remember all the guys, but you had that wave, and all those guys wrote songs together.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
And they all kind of piggybacked off each other and what was going on.
Right.
And then you had the Thomas Rhett and the Florida Georgia Line and the.
And they all work together.
Now
Chase Rice.
Now you got Hardy and
Morgan Wallen.
Laney Wilson.
Mark McCollum. Like,
It's classes.
Even though you guys aren't like big yet, like, it reminds me of that same type of thing where when you're doing something together and you guys are all writing songs together, all it takes is one of those damn things to hit.
Yeah. And
one of those hits
from any one of us,
from any of you,
Yeah.
and it's the ball's rolling.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's awesome.
That's why those people succeed, though, is
Yeah.
because if you have this big village of everybody working together, as soon as one person succeeds, everybody succeeds.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, all those people work together, and that's why they're all coming up at the same time, is because you make those friendships.
It was mine.
Oh, you make those friendships, and like I said, one person wins, everybody wins. Everybody's trying to bring each other up because you made those.
And I think the reason why it takes a long time and then all of a sudden you see these classes pop is because the people that are still in town doing stuff are still there and the other people have kind of fizzled out, right? Mm-hmm. So if your whole class is there, like, it's not just like one guy makes it and the whole class pops up. It's like it takes so long for people to be like, oh, I'm going to get married. Oh, I'm going to have kids. Oh, I actually need money. Oh, I actually don't give a shit about music anymore. Can I swear on this? Sorry, my bad.
No, you're good. Absolutely.
We'll censor you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't get mad about that.
I got the time.
No, it's no different too. Like, with even with our business. I mean, most people, like, they want to do something for themselves, right? Like, You're doing it. You start out. I mean, you moved to Nashville not thinking that you were going to be in a group, right?
I'm giving a damn about guys like this, dude.
Yeah,
I still hate you.
And you go so much further together, and you do, when you've got everybody with a different talent, everybody with a different kind of style or niche, everybody with a different role in our office with what we handle.
Yeah.
It's amazing how it all just kind of starts to come together and takes off. So,
dude, I just thought of a good analogy for, we were talking about, like, traveling together. Success, I guess, could be, like you said, one person pops off, you can take everybody with you. Whoever pops off first, I guess we figure out whose vehicle we're taking. If Kyle's the one that has the hit song before any of us do, it's like, all right, I guess we're hopping in Kyle's truck. Well, does that make sense?
That was really nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Beautifully delivered, in fact.
I was thinking about how to say it really deeply.
Yeah. Who's got the gas, though? I mean, who rotated the tires? There's a whole lot to it.
Yeah. But it's very funny how like, well, we all work together, and it is cool that, like, we're all pushing each other and trying to help each other. I was telling somebody about this last night. It was funny because we were talking about how you just got a van. I was telling somebody how you just got a van. It's like, yeah, it's cool because, Hunter just got a van, and I was like, oh, and Nick just got that trailer, so, like, it's cool, we all have this stuff to use. I was like, and I just bought this sound system.
Literally.
And, like, we're all sharing this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
So, what happens when you guys write a song together and then you all want the same song?
We arm wrestle.
How does that work? Have you guys ever had arguments about that?
Not really.
No?
It's
Or disagreements, or
no. Usually it's. I think, I don't know because I haven't been here.
I'm putting you guys on the spot.
Yeah, as long as you guys have. But I'm assuming if somebody has the idea or brings the idea to the table and then you write the song, that person usually probably gets first dibs, or no?
I think if you're a writer on it, so, like, legally, if you're a writer on it, you have, like, rights to cut it or do whatever you want. But I think that, like, I've talked to you about doing double songs because all the songs that he cuts, I'm like, I really like that song. Like, I'd love to cut it. And I've asked you a bunch of times before, like, if I double cut some of these and he's cool about it. He's like, no, definitely not. The more people that are listening to the song that we wrote, it's advantageous for all of us. So you can either be selfish about it. Like, there's definitely a lot of people that you hear that are like, no, like, I want to cut that, but I don't want to cut it for 2 years. It's like, what are we doing? Like, that's ridiculous. There's some people that, like, are very territorial about that, and that just shows that they're not getting the whole vibe of like what the music Nashville, sharing resources, growing together. Like you're not going to be, you're going to like say to somebody, no, I don't want you to cut this song, but then that person blows up and you're going to be like, oh my God, great job, like take me with you.
Please cut my song that I didn't want you to cut.
It's like, no, you showed your true colors when there was nothing on the line.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a great point.
I would love to hear like him cut a song like Bronco, and then he's got a couple songs that we wrote together. Like there's a song called Fiddle With It, for example, I really like, that I might want to cut someday. And we've just kind of talked about the fact that, dude, it's at the end of the day, like it's about people hearing our songs. So.
It is, that's true. And there's plenty of songs. I mean, there's so many songs I hear and I'm like, this would sound so much better if somebody else cut it.
Yeah.
Right? Or like that sounds like a so-and-so type of song versus, and then you hear like just some that come to mind, like Dirt Road Anthem, like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Aldean was the one that got it big, but Brantley Gilbert, when you listen back on his old album, it's right there on his.
Right, yeah.
It literally did not hurt Brantley Gilbert one iota.
It helped him. It launched him. That launched his career.
Correct.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. I think just not being prideful about it and not being jealous or butthurt that somebody else is.
I think if you followed like the
it.
general rules of just like common courtesy with a lot of stuff, everything can be avoided. Like just communication, like just like being aware of like everything that's going on.
Yeah.
The general rules of just being an adult go a long way.
Right, yeah.
It's like if you didn't want me to cut it, you'd say it and I'd be like, well, we'll talk about it, but it's not like everybody gets their feelings hurt. Some people do, but we don't.
Well, no, like general rules of being an adult, and that's still one of those things, communication and stuff like that. I mean, should be pretty straightforward, but sometimes people aren't great at it. So anyway, I just honestly wondered that, so I hope I didn't put you guys on the spot.
No,
you did not at all.
We've never had an issue, and I think that's why, is because we're all very open and courteous, like to each other. We all yeah.
So what do you guys have on the docket? You got your show tonight. What are you guys? I know you did the one last night. Do you guys doing anything else together this summer?
Yeah. So me and let's see, Kyle and I are going to be playing.
Really nice.
Kyle and I are going to be playing at the Grandview Amphitheater July 14th. That's a Saturday. It's all ages. You can bring lawn chairs, serapes, or blankets.
That's what I'm talking about.
All that stuff's encouraged, and I think it's a $10 ticket. Okay. And you just have to go to grandviewamp.com. And it's really, really cool because it's a brand new state-of-the-art amphitheater that holds a ton of people. I'm hoping we can put some people in that.
Yeah.
But we're also going to be, me and Kyle are going to be releasing a song at some point too, hopefully before then, that all three of us wrote together called Collard Greens. So.
Okay.
And then,
What, dang it, your little hand motion made me forget what I was going to say. Dang it. So at the amphitheater, is anybody else, is it just you guys playing, or is there anybody else too?
It's just us. Two full bands from Nashville, one night of solid country music.
Okay, hell yeah.
The best it gets.
Okay. Yeah. So Nick, do you go back and do you play a lot at home? Do you go back up north?
Yeah, I was home last weekend.
Okay.
There's a bunch of writers that are from my hometown that have moved to Nashville. That we did like a big kind of writers round, kind of like what I think we're doing tonight, right? Tonight's gonna be writers round South.
Yep.
So we did that at a bar back home, and it's kind of cool. We were just talking about this in the car ride. We had a lot to talk about 9 hours, but we were just talking about how it's funny how when you play those bars all the time, like say you go home for the summer, I'm going to take the summer off and I'm going to play like these 10 bars. I'm going to do 2 a week type of thing.
Yeah.
And people like come out, but they don't like come out. It's funny how when you start coming out less and less, but then you also bring people from Nashville, it kind of validates what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And like the attendance is much
so
better.
It's much more quality over quantity type of situation, right? Is that what you're saying?
In terms of pulling a crowd, because if you just hit the same bars all the time, people are like, I'll just catch them next week.
Yeah.
But also when you have more Nashville guys, you're allowed to get away with like, would you guys like to hear an original song, instead of like, hey, just play the same wagon wheel. Yeah, literally, exactly. But I have recently gotten with a band, so drummer, bass, and guitar, and we're doing like kind of not full touring, but we're at least 2-3 weekends a month right now, all over the country, which is super exciting.
That's awesome.
In territories that I've never been, and It's really nice when you find a bunch of guys that you have and it's replicable. Like, you know exactly what you're getting every time. So you're not just like trying to figure out if the show works.
Right.
You're trying to improve the show because you know that the product is just press play. Now I can do a little extra crowd talking or a little extra flair on this or that. But yeah, so a bunch of that going on this summer.
I would say that, yeah, consistency on your band is probably a really big deal.
Oh my God, yeah.
So, well, what else we got? You guys got anything else funded?
Man, I just think tonight's going to be really, really cool. I'm excited for my hometown to hear some fresh voices and just kind of expose them to how much talent is out there. I feel like whenever you live, I don't want to say that wrong. I feel like most people are either going to an arena to see Morgan Wallen or they're seeing the same band every weekend. And there's like no in between,
Okay.
And I think that this is going to be a really cool in between thing.
Yeah.
I also
it's
think
going to open some eyes, I think.
Yeah, I also think it's really cool this type of thing, like a writer's round kind of thing, which is every day, multiple times a day in Nashville in so many bars. This type of thing is not seen outside of that very often. There's one group in Kansas City area called Barstool Sessions. They put on something it's very similar to this. They go to Nashville all the time. And they've seen it out there, and they're like, "Oh, we should bring this back to Kansas City," and they've done a really good job of that. But
Chicken and Pickle, remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's rare outside of Nashville that stuff happens, and it's really cool to bring that to like Kansas City or any other small town or bigger town, because again, like the songwriter thing, especially in Nashville, that doesn't happen outside outside of Nashville. So I think it's cool that we're bringing that stuff to Kansas City and
there's
other places.
You're almost when you first start playing your original songs outside of Nashville, you're very self-conscious because the environment in Nashville is like it's okay to play songs that you've wrote that may not be bangers or on the radio. And so when you're first starting out, it's like, I'm going to try this one, and you feel like nervous to play it there. But when you get outside of that, you're almost like even more self-conscious about that in the early stages. But what I like about it is that now, after playing so many of these on the road, you know that people actually love more than the covers, hearing the songs that you've written. They love you slowing down and telling them the story of why you wrote the song, versus just like playing an original song and then moving on to the covers. Like, they love the behind the scenes. They love being part of like behind the curtain of what's happening in Nashville. They have no clue in a negative sense, but it's tough to understand what's happening in Nashville and the amount of songs that are being cranked out like a machine every day until you're in it, and you're never in it unless you're in it. So you try to bring it to these people, and it seems like everyone outside of Nashville, the response for writers' rounds, like you make more money playing writers' rounds outside of Nashville than you do full band stuff. Like, literally, bars and clubs are paying like almost double what you can get for a full band to do some originals and covers. It's remarkable. It's awesome too, because that's what all we want to do is play our own stuff.
And I was just going to say too, it's going to be really refreshing for us because we play events like the event we're playing tonight. We play this format 3 or 4 times a week sometimes, and in Nashville it is so common that you can kind of just go through the motions. The people playing the songs at the round don't usually care that much, and then the people in the crowd definitely don't care that much a lot of times. And so it's going to be cool.
There's a level of appreciation for it because
that's probably the best way to say it.
Yeah, because like in Nashville, the songs written all the time. There's these rounds all the time, and while you're there, your friends are there, and it's a music town. So it's not a surprise to hear music in a place. You walk in, you buy a beer, you get your food, you talk to your buddies, and then you move on to the next bar.
Yeah.
That's the point. And then whenever you bring it to somewhere, right?
Yep.
Like here, there's an appreciation for it because they don't get it every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
that's a great point. So is that so tonight? I didn't even really know what the setup was tonight. So it's going to be all original stuff tonight.
We'll probably play a couple covers, but yeah, it's going to be really focusing on a lot of the work that we have done over the last 6, 7, 8, 10 years.
yeah,
That's awesome.
So we're gonna put that on display, and we're gonna show people that just because we don't have Ferraris or anything that we're still actually doing work down there. So
Okay, love it. Love it.
We got a van now,
How long are
though.
you guys gonna go tonight?
probably 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours.
Okay. Okay.
I feel like you're about to add something.
No, you were saying Ferraris. I was
Yeah.
going to say tour bus.
I was gonna say we got vans now.
We have fans, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, he just, did you hear about what he just got?
Well, he texted me. He goes, "I'm a proud owner of a van," and
Yeah.
we hadn't really talked about it yet. So.
It is a sexy 99
Dude,
Chevy Express.
Okay.
it is clean.
It's clean.
Tow package.
It's got the tow package.
It's got the I got a light dimmer in there.
No kidding.
There's a light dimmer in there, and it is.
We have Hunter's
Top
girlfriend
notch.
over here. She's not on camera right now, but she's rolling her eyes at Hunter.
She was his girlfriend.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys ready to wrap it up?
Yeah, man.
Okay. Hey,
This is great.
Thank you guys for coming on. I'm excited to watch you tonight. Thanks to everybody watching this. Hopefully you're coming out to the show.
Before you wrap it up, sorry to interrupt, but I just want to ask, why yellow colored glasses? Why is that the name of the podcast?
So
I'm sure you've said this like 1,000 times.
No,
in years,
not a
but-
lot. So it's yellow colored glasses. So we were trying to come up with. So obviously, when the podcast started, it was to talk about going into business for yourself, interviewing local businesses. Really, honestly, just trying to doing basically like a show for promoting other local businesses in the area. But along with that, our perspective, our opinions on a lot of things, and obviously our colors are yellow and black. So we thought through the lenses of yellow colored glasses was kind of catchy. Michaela actually came up with that. So yeah, we rolled with that, and that's why.
So you're in town. You hear there's a new company on the block. Someone's opening something. You go reach out to them, have them come on the podcast.
Yeah, a lot. So we go. I mean, we're on 43 now. So there's only so many businesses in town. Like there's only so many. So we try to stay local, but we do a lot of people that are entrepreneurs, real estate.
Yeah.
People that, we've had some really cool people on here. Guys that we've partnered with insurance stuff. Sometimes we'll talk about all the different types of products that we offer. Sometimes we'll just get on here and BS. So
I love that.
Rob, yeah.
I love that you do that for new businesses because he's actually repping my roofing company's hat.
okay, love it.
2020 hit and we lost all our gigs and service industry jobs. And my partner Nick, that goofball that was just on the phone, showing me his hammer.
Yeah.
Literal hammer. Literal hammer.
9-pound hammer.
Yeah.
Wait, that's not it.
Yeah. Claw.
Claw.
That's not better either.
It's a framer. Yeah, we had to do something just to make ends meet. And he had a construction background. I had a background in just like sales and in that specific industry, and we ended up doing that. So I love that you do that for local businesses and help get their names out, because it's hard to figure out what you need to do when you're when you're wearing all the hats at the same time.
For sure, for sure. And I think the other thing too is like the podcast. We've got some that have 500 views. We've got some that have 10. We've got some that have 250. Like, it doesn't really matter. The reason that we do it like we do it is because, number one, just having the consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If we consistently put it out there, we've always got the footage. We've always got the videos of, when we send it to whoever comes on, we'll send them everything.
Right.
So for social media purposes, I mean, we've always got clips that we can go and pull thumbnails or pull clips to post and all that stuff. And that makes the marketing piece of it much easier, and I think it's just the consistency of it.
Yeah.
Whether the actual podcast has a ton of views or not, if we have a clip that we pull from one that only has 15 views, that doesn't matter. If that clip
Does
is
it
something
really well.
good to get out there, then
Yeah.
we're good. So
Yeah.
and that kind of reminded me too. Can you guys tell everybody like how they can find you on social media, like what your handles are, all that stuff? We can put it up on the screen too.
Sure, yeah. Mine is Kyle Austin Music on everything. Everything's just Kyle Austin Music on YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, everything.
Okay.
It's all that.
TikTok.
TikTok, yeah.
TikTok.
Yeah.
And then your website is kyleaustinmusic.com.
.com, yeah. Hey, thanks. I'm an idiot, and I appreciate it. I have no idea.
You're welcome.
I never get asked that question, so I don't know.
Yeah, what's your website?
Yeah.
What about you, Nick?
Mine is, all my handles are at Nick Deleo Music. Deleo, Deleo. Nick Deleo Music.
Okay.
And my website is nickdeleo.com,
Okay.
which also has a link to all of my socials. So that's probably the easiest way to go.
Perfect.
Is get there.
Yeah. And then on every social media platform, I am at Hunter T. Mounce. And then
It's like bounce with a on
yeah,
it.
it's like bounce with a on it. And then www.huntermounce.com.
Do you still have to use wwws, or is that not a thing?
Not really. I mean,
Thank you for correcting me. It's https://www.huntermounce.com.
Yeah.
Right. That's important.
Have you guys seen those dot cards?
Yeah, they're cool.
I have not.
Yeah.
Have I showed you the one we got?
No, somebody at the gym hit me with one. I was like, dude, I have just been got by the dot.
Yeah. Wow.
No, for real. They are. Yeah. No, they're legit. They're legit because you can put. I mean, I'll show you.
Yeah, so-
it's if you haven't seen it.
Yeah,
Scan
it's,
it,
it's a
just-
card. It's a card, and you hold it to the back of somebody's phone, and it's literally like pulls up like a Linktree-esque thing, and it has all your stuff on it. It says like Instagram, Facebook, and people can just click it, and then it takes them to.
Well, and they save it. So you know how like when somebody sends you a contact in your phone, you just hit save.
Oh, right, yeah.
So
Yeah.
when you pull it up, I'll show you. We'll just do this live, okay? And then everybody can see that they need to get a dot card. You will never need a business card again, ever.
Good.
Scan it on your phone.
Oh, I didn't know how to QR code. I thought it was like a.
No, you just scan it with your camera, and then you don't have my number yet, so you can save it anyway. It'll be perfect. See? So you do that.
Oh, no service. Oh, here it comes.
Did it scan already?
Yeah, I did.
And then when you save that contact and go in there, it'll pull up pulls up all of our socials, our YouTube, pulls up our podcast, anything you want, you can link on there.
Boom.
So
Look at that.
when you're talking about your music and all that stuff, taking people to different places, it can be super cool for you guys.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely.
Anyway, all right. Well,
Same contact.
looking forward to the show tonight. Thank you if you're watching this. Share it, like and subscribe, like it says right behind Hunter and Kyle. And
Great shout of you, by the way.
yeah, thank you.
Biceps are looking good now.
Yeah, that was a lot better back then.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Well, thanks for coming on, guys.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for having us on.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Appreciate it, brother.
All right. Peace out, everybody.